Welcome everybody. In tonight's video, I'm going to be showing you 3 knives that I have found to be my favorite for year 2022. Knives that throughout the year, one of the knives I've had this last month, it's fast, but it's a good knife, and it has displaced a few other knives that I had in the lineup for this year. Let's start with my favorite knife of 2022. Starting off with the Land 9104. This is a Chris Reeves Sebenza knockoff paracord I added myself. You don't get that with the knife. It's on ball bearings. It is a frame lock, as you can kind of see here. Frame lock, not a deep carry clip, but not a bad clip. I like that clip. It doesn't provide a hot spot. This knife is comfortable, sharp out of box, easy to sharpen. It's sandfix steel. Very fidgety. Excuse me. And a good budget knife. This thing is about $34 at the moment, last I checked. And it has been a tank of a knife. This thing takes a beating. Now, sure, like all knives, you could probably bust off the tip. Don't stab and wiggle with your knives, people. Not good. But this thing is just an absolute beast. It's a little bit shorter than a large Sebenza, about 1.5 centimeters shorter than a large Sebenza. But this thing, I hate that loose mucus in my nose. It just messes up how you talk. But this thing has just been wonderful all year. It's been a pleasure to have. It slips in my pocket, stays in my pocket, but that clip does not fall out, and has just been a good knife to have. Next up is what I nicknamed the poor man's Crooked River, and that is the SRM 9201. Now, comparing that to a full-size Crooked River, you can see that it is substantially smaller, but the sizes are there. And I love the thumb hole. I love the axis lock. I love the lanyard hole, how it's recessed into the scales so that the paracord doesn't stick out past the knife. That's absolutely wonderful. Deep carry pocket clip, no hot spots, comfortable, full liners, and you got the fidget factor where you can just pop it out, pop it in. It bounces out a little bit, but you know, it's an axis lock. Be real. But it's just been a wonderful, wonderful knife. This thing comes in at about $20-something. It's just a beautiful, beautiful little knife. We get some blue metal around the pivot screw there. It's just really nice. Just a beautiful knife. It's comfortable, solid, a little thin at the tip, but not bad. Now, what I had on my list as my third favorite knife of 2022. So, also I gotta apologize for I seem to be looking up over here. I'm recording on my phone right now, and my camera is over here, off to the side, about here. But deal with it. This would have been my number 3 knife, Benchmade Bug Out. Awesome little knife, thin slicey blade, light, partial liners, comes down to about here on the knife, from here to here. Good knife, love it. But this got kicked out. This next knife even kicked out this one. And QSP Penguin, great knife. And that is the Demko 80 20.5. Are we really that surprised? Comparing that to the Benchmade Bug Out, about the same size, a little bit beefier, but about that size. considerably thicker blade, about twice as thick, a little over twice as thick on the blade. Just fidget factor through the roof, better than an Axis lock. I love that clip point. The clip point is wonderful. This has just been a gorgeous knife. I have loved this thing. Back when I got into EDC about 3-4 years ago, my Grail knife still kind of is a Grail knife because it was like the first knife I wanted, was a Paramilitary 2 with shipwrecked copper scales. That was what I wanted. This knife did not exist back then. It does now, and I'm glad it does. But Demko AD 20.5, wonderful little knife. Great work of art. It is solid. There's no blade wiggle. There's no blade play. Like this thing, once that locks in, that's locked in. And, well, just the slightest wiggle. I need to tighten that screw some. But you just pull that back, it drops, it shuts, it almost snaps open. This thing is beautiful. It's a work of art. I love, I just love like the strong military clip point. Like it just feels like a K-bar almost. It's just a good knife. It's comfortable in the hand. The pocket clip is good. I'm planning on swapping this out for a deep carry. You know, this is the stock clip. I plan on getting a deep carry. If any of you are willing to give me a free deep carry pocket clip, hit me up. These, for those of you that are wondering and haven't seen my videos on this, the brass bead here really is not one brass bead. It is two, and these are what are called knurled nuts. These are from Lowe's Hardware, not sponsored. You probably get them at Home Depot, whatever hardware store sells light fixture stuff. This goes on your light fixtures, like the ceiling fans and stuff. Light fixtures, lamps, tabletop lamps and stuff. Knurled nuts. They make wonderful little lanyard beads. But this knife was so good that I got the shark's foot. I managed to, both these are secondhand, but I got the shark's foot, got the clip point, and I love the shark's foot. Shark's foot is wonderful. It just locks in like the Paramilitary 2. It just locks into your hand. It doesn't budge. I've handled Paramilitary 2s for those of you that don't know, but I've never had a real one. But it just locks in, does not slip anywhere. Texture on the handle there, wonderful. Full liners. The shark lock is just a wonderful idea. And it's this little tab on the back of the knife. You grab and pull back like that. And you got to pull it back quite a ways for the blade to disengage from the open position. Like you pull it back a little bit, wiggles a bit, that's fine, no biggie. But you've got to pull it back, way back, for that to activate. And clip point, just wonderful. I love this thing. So glad I got it. This is not my top knife. Like I said, top knife of the year is the Land 9104. This thing, this is it for me. It's simple, like everything about a knife. If you want kind of a one and done knife, which we know in the EDC world, there's no such thing as a one and done. It's just not going to happen. But in the concept of one and done, Land 9104, one and done, beautiful knife, solid, lovely, gorgeous, good knife. To recap from that one, we have the SRM 9201, gotta work on names, but Poor Man's Crooked River, we'll call it the Wrigley Creek. Perfect. Instead of the Crooked River, it's going to be the Wrigley Creek. Wrigley Creek, because that's going to be a fun name to say. The Wrigley Creek. SRM, consider that name, please. But just a great knife. I love it. Fantastic. And then recapping off of that, Demko 80 20.5. This is not the big guy. This is the small guy. And it's just wonderful. And the shark's foot version. You're in the ocean, you see the shark fin pop up. Chomp. So, these are my top 3 knives of 2022. Thank you for watching. I hope you find this video informational, useful. Hope you get something out of it, you know? So, until the next video, I hope to see you all doing well. Bye-bye.